Hey everybody, how's it going? Like Butter here, and I was reading something on Twitter the other day which kind of like sparked the reason for me doing this video. And I don't believe I've ever brought this topic up before, so I thought it'd be a good time to do that. Like I said, I was on Twitter and I saw some stuff going on with a couple of the competitive teams. I don't know if it was players leaving or scrimming with other teams or people snaking each other, if you don't know what it means to get snaked. They basically go and scrim with another team and then leave the team without letting you know any of this happened. So then you're stuck without a teammate, and then you gotta find someone else. And this has happened right before events before. So I saw Hypefestation was talking about trying to get contracts for each other because of how big of an issue this is. And I want to talk about like my experiences with competitive gears, and also like, you know, this can go for YouTube teams as well. But anyways, the point that I want to make today is it's super important to work through issues as a team other than just, you know, finding another team. So back in 2009, I tried going competitively for Gears 2. We finished 29th at Meadowlands, and I won a couple of LAN tournaments, so I had a good grasp of what was going on in the community. Especially after Meadows, I needed to find a team because I couldn't participate in Columbus because I got my wisdom teeth out on the same day, and it couldn't be rescheduled, you know. That's not something, it would have been months in advance to get rescheduled, and I had to get it done during the time that it was. I believe it was during the summer, I'm not sure. But anyways, so I needed to find another team, and this is when I started seeing that I think I got like 30 seeding points from Meadows. I had some offers to scrim with people, and I can't tell you how many times I would scrim with a team and they would be like, yeah, we're gonna run as 4, and then all of a sudden like someone wouldn't be doing well and automatically they start scrimming with another player instead of working through the issues. Now, the reason it's so important to work through the issues is because the longer you stay together as a team, the more comfortable you guys get with call-outs, the more comfortable you get with each other in transitions, mid-round. It's basically what you're building is chemistry. They call it chemistry, how a team like flows together. And that's what made teams like the Insanes and Get Bronco play so well together, because they kept the same team for multiple events. And it seemed like, especially with the whole seeding points thing in Gears 2, it was very hard for people to stay on one team because they always wanted better offers. Now, the reason seeding points meant so much, especially to teams that finished outside of semi-pro, is because if you, like, the lower seeding points you had, the less chance you had of winning, like, the tournament. That's just how it was, because in amateur bracket, you had to play through on split screen for like the first couple of matches. So you would technically have double hosts, and how it worked is if you had more seeding points, you would host tiebreaker no matter what the round count was. Like, you guys know how in GB it used to be like, well, you know, this team won more rounds, so they host tiebreaker. It's not like that at all. So you could win both your games. Say it was best of 5, you could win both your matches 4-3 and then lose 4-0. But if you have more seeding points, you got hosts for the third map. So it was pretty unfair, and I could totally understand why people were teaming for seeding points. But what it did is it made it so that there wasn't that many teams that were like chemically together, I'd say. Like, nobody was working through issues. Like, no one wanted to scrim through problems. Like, you lose a couple maps or you have a couple bad cycles, and boom, people want to try out other players and say it's not working out. And this is, I'm assuming this shit is still going on today. And what happens is when like players are constantly changing teams, it's hard for the fans and spectators and viewers to kind of follow a team, because no one wants to really follow a team that's constantly changing all the time, because it's impossible to figure out, you know, what's going on at what time. It becomes very difficult to kind of get attached to a team when it's constantly changing. So I honestly think that players really need to work through things more, and that's why, you know, like I said, the Insanes and all those teams that stayed together were so powerful and so impossible to beat because of the level that they were on. Because once you build your team and you establish who you're teaming with, you can work on chemistry, call-outs, strats, all the extra stuff that's going to make you guys better. But if you're constantly scrimming with other players, you're always going to be trying to like weave these players together and to work well with each other, and that's not always going to happen. So you end up getting the person who doesn't communicate, and then you get, sometimes you have too many people on a team that are leaders and are somebody who wants to do call outs and stuff, so you get people talking over each other. It's really difficult. Once you get like a set team and you guys start working on extra, you know, strats and transitions to make your team better, that's when you're going to excel. And that's another thing that you can see with the YouTube teams. Like, it's hard for these fans who just enjoy watching Gears content, who aren't in teams, to like a team or not like a team, because there's constantly people playing or people changing from team to team. Now, this happened a lot with Gears of War, and it happens with Call of Duty as well, where somebody will get in a smaller team and then work their way up to the highest team, and then once they hit the highest team, they either quit the game because there's nothing else for them to achieve, or they just, you know, go to a different team and make up some reason why they don't like the team that they're in, and it causes a bunch of problems. And like, there's too many teams as it is, too many YouTube teams. Like, when I believe V-City was like the first YouTube team for Gears of War, and I respect them for that because it was a really good idea. All I did was take the idea of what we had from Defiance and create chaos, and then like all of a sudden, like you know, there's like a million teams now, and it's hard to keep up with who's in what team, and you know, I don't know, it's just impossible to keep track of all the teams now. It's just too many. But like the whole hopping thing, like, I understand you want to work your way up, but it was pretty disgusting to see the people who would hop from team to team to team to team and then quit when they got to chaos. It was pretty, I don't know, it was pretty depressing to see. Let's just put it that way. So that can kind of go in the same category, I think. But I'm just hoping that the competitive players, because it was Nick Merckx's team, that supposedly they were having some issues, I hope they get it figured out, and I hope like the teams stay together so that the fan base can follow what's going on. And we get to see better gameplay as well, you know, when teams are working really well together. It's fun to watch. So hopefully they get that all figured out for Summer Jam. The last thing I want is for people to like snake each other after the, especially if somebody bought the team pass already. And another thing is, like, when people say that they can't go, they say that they could go to events, and then you scrim with them, and then right before the event they don't go. So I don't know. And another thing that I see pretty often in the Gears of War competitive community is that people don't communicate with each other. Like, they go and scrim with other teams behind their team's back and don't say anything until they know they're going to be in the other team, and then they leave and you have no notice whatsoever. That's like, it's like cheating on your girlfriend. Like, be open with your team and let them know if you're scrimming with somebody else. Like, I don't think it's that hard to do. And honestly, if you aren't comfortable with your team leader knowing what you're doing, then you probably shouldn't be doing it. And that's like another huge issue that I ran into, is people just constantly snaking each other. Be open with your team. Be open. If you care about your team, let them know that you're scrimming with another team. Be like, you know, yeah, I'm scrimming with this team, but it's not that serious. But yeah, they might get pissed off, and they have every right to get pissed off, because you should be working with them and getting better as your team that you've already, you know, made. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Remember, if you're going to be making a team in Gears 4 in the future, work through your problems and give it a shot. You know, don't just give up and try to find someone else because it's not working out right now. You might have to work through that, and in the end, you'll see that's going to be a lot better for your squad. So if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to drop the video a like. I'm going to be having a lot more Halo content coming up soon. Me and Pete are going to be doing the road to 50 in doubles, and I'm going to be posting like all the games. So that's going to be fun. Anyways, take care, guys. I hope you have a good night.